Hello YouTube, it's me, VictorisGX. I'm a VTuber and Tenno creator, playing Warframe and a variety of other games over on Twitch. You found my YouTube channel, where I post curated content, shorts, etc. Right now, you're going to see my About Me Warframe list, which I recorded during one of my Tenno Tuesday live streams. I play Warframe live every Tuesday over on Twitch, so if you like this video and want to see more of these shenanigans, please consider following me over on twitch.tv/VictorisGX. I also have a Discord with a growing community who gets the first notification of when I go live. It's also just a fun place to hang out, so if that's something you're interested in, check the description below for an invite to my server. Remember to leave a like and a comment telling me who your favorite frame is and why, so I know you didn't skip this intro. Now let's roll the videotape. Okay. First off, we've got first frame. That is pretty easy. It was Excalibur for me. You know, I wasn't looking for, anything too crazy, too complicated when I was getting into it. Looking over the abilities, going between Excal, Mag, and Volt, I was kind of lost on the abilities, to be honest. So I figured, hey, he seems pretty straightforward. He's like all melee. I'm just gonna stick with him and kind of go from there. And he's been good. Like, he was my frame for the new war, for the second dream before that, and especially Umbra. There isn't an Excalibur Prime that you can earn now. That's because it belongs to the founders. It's definitely impossible to get Excal now. But the way that they kind of helped out the rest of the fans, let's go ahead. We'll make a special one just for them. I mean, he's Excalibur Umbra. He's got his own quest, the Sacrifice, which is one of the preludes to the new war. Excellent quest and excellent frame they have. Now, that being said, I have branched out to other things, and when I got the chance to get my first prime, I think I'm gonna throw Zaku up there. Yeah. I seem to recall, I got them as, the first prime that I cooked and pulled out of my foundry. I discovered that, yes, you can buy frames, and people certainly do buy prime Warframes, but they've made it so, you don't have to like pay anything to get these guys. And he was a solid pick. I mean, he's got an ability set that does some crowd control. It's I know, like, he can take guns out of enemies' hands. He can freaking blow his armor off.
Huh?
I'm sorry, their armor off. Their lore is that they're a composite of 3 different Warframes that were lost to the void, and then came out on the other side as Zaku. Overall, very solid frame. Solid frame, absolutely. Now, Oberon was my first main frame. Like, this guy is the GOAT. I mean, quite literally. You see those horns? That rack on him? It's because he's the GOAT. I mean, he is kind of derived from like Fey lore. He's a guardian of the forest. He does a lot of crowd control with effects that look like spreading of plants. It's actually radioactive damage that causes the enemies to just go berserk and turn on each other. So you are just sowing the seeds of chaos with Oberon. His first ability, Smite, that's quite literally what it is. You smite the enemy and you take their armor down. Basically, you can armor strip them and, you know, also knock a good chunk of health off of them in the process. You know, oh, look at that. Look at all that nice armor. That looks pretty good. It'd be a shame if somebody smite. It's gone. It's gone. No more. No more. So yeah. Yeah. That is one of my first mains. Now for my second main, I'm gonna have to go with Uriel. He's like the devil from Bible. He's a freaking demon Warframe, and he's got 3 little imps who just kind of go around and, again, sow chaos. I am drawn to these frames that just create chaos all over the battlefield. You can dispatch the little imps to go out and, you know, wreak havoc with the enemies. You can't tell them what to do specifically, but they will go after enemies. Sometimes they'll chain them together, or they'll just do straight fire damage. And while they do that, they will create runes that show up. You can collect them, and it gives your weapons a major firing speed and fire elemental buff. Whenever I'm in a squad and there's an aerial, oh my guy, my guns are gonna burn. And speaking of guns, next spot we get to is the best weapon frame. There's really no contest. It's Ciderline. His exalted weapon is a sniper rifle. Like, go reach out and touch someone with the freaking exalted sniper rifle. And besides that, I mean, you can look through walls. His exalted has like infinite armor piercing or infinite punch through, if I recall correctly. He can also drop armor buffs, dropping universal armor refills. He can drop elemental armor, so if there's a faction that's particularly weak to a certain element, he can drop all of the stuff that you need to kill the enemy most effectively. Best caster frame. This is no contest. No contest at all. It's Dante. The Virian lore researcher himself, based on, you know, the titular character from Dante's Inferno. His abilities are all casting. Like, they're just all casting. You know, at one point, while you're doing story quests, you will get the opportunity to get a grimoire, Book of Magic. And it's only a sidearm, it's only a secondary, but it has infinite ammo, and you can mod it any way that you want. Already goated weapon. Dante has his own Grimness standard. It's his exalted weapon, Noctuo. And you can get specialized mods to go onto Noctuo that can do some really cool damage effects, some cool like AoE effects and squad buffs. Not too many Dante users actually use them. I mean, I try to find some uses for it, but I mean, mainly all I do is just mod for crit. That's all. I just want to make sure that I'm throwing, red numbers, all mission long, orange numbers at the very least. And then he has like light magic and dark magic that you can cast in sets of 2. You can cast it up 2 for overguard generation, or you can cast down 2 for more damage. And there are different combinations in between that deal other effects. He'll loan his Noctua out to the other players to assist with damage, set forth peregrines, these like owl things, to fly around and slash at enemies. Like normally Frame has 4 different abilities, but with the combos that are possible with Dante, you can squeeze out like let's see. Well, I mean, I guess. Yeah, great casting frame. Now, one frame who I believe is underrated, it is the most underrated here, in my opinion. This frame, I mean, it gets some love, it gets enough love, but I understand that some people have frustrations with this one, and that's Temple. Temple is a freaking rock star. I mean, goddamn, he's... I'm sorry, they, them. I'm sorry. My pronouns are he, they. I mean, I really should know better.
Yes.
But they wield, the infested guitar, Lizzie, a freaking flamethrower. Like, what the hell? You have a flamethrower guitar? So edgy. Not because you're edgy all over your design. I guess I'm gonna have to just say that some people just don't have rhythm. There's a metronome mechanic that Temple has, and you've got to time it so that you activate an ability within the small window in the middle, the gauge that deals, that awakens Lizzie. There's damage buffs that they can give to the squad, and I didn't know this when I started playing them, but if you aim Lizzie, you can actually target different sub-elemental damage. These other aimed sub-elemental abilities, they're like single notes. You can deal magnetic, corrosive, radioactive, and viral, all of which have different levels of effectiveness against different enemies. That is a great mechanic to take advantage of, like Cytonine with his elemental ammo drops. Except Temple has it right there on the guitar. In my opinion, that is the most underrated Warframe and the most overrated Warframe. I might anger some people, but you know, fuck it. I don't care. It's my list. Wukong. Look, look, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay? I've played Wukong. I've played him multiple times. I mean, I don't see how much different he is from, like, Excalibur Umbra. Like, he creates a spirit clone, and his Exalted is a bow staff, which, I mean, it does get some good damage. And one of his abilities does turn you invisible for a time. I mean, that's just like a quick dash, like invisible dash, just to kind of help you get out of a sticky mess that you might find yourself in. But other than that, I don't really get it. I honestly don't. Which is saying something, because for like the last few years running, Wukong has been the most used frame in all of the Warframe community. So I know I'm a small creator now, but if a bunch of angry Tenno actually, you know, end up seeing my video, hey, don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me. This is just my opinion, okay? I'm not trying to poop in anyone's Fruit Loops or anything. I'm not trying to shit on, you know, what you like. I just don't really care for Wukong. The one that critically needs a rework would be Banshee. On paper, it seems like she would be just one of the most OP fighters, but for some reason, I don't know if it's because of how the dynamics of the game itself have changed, or if just like all of the newer frames, you know, started scaling up and scaling better. I think that Banshee could be a good frame. I mean, I've played her a fair bit. Her abilities are not bad. Not great, but they're not bad. Yes. Please, DE, please rework Banshee. Please and thank you. I'm not going to pull any punches with this next one. Wish they were better. That is being kind to this particular frame. Limbo.
It's official. You suck.
Let me explain myself. All right? He's not inherently bad. No. Unfortunately, about 90% of the players who start using Limbo, they're doing it wrong. I can't really put it any other way. They're just doing it wrong. He has an ability that can put your squad into a rift, separated from the plane of where all the enemies are fighting, which is great if you want to avoid damage. However, when the point is to deal damage and you're trying to shoot the same enemy over and over and over and over and over and over again, and no numbers are popping up, there comes a moment when you have to stop, you have to look at the squad, and then you see, oh, Limbo, Gray, Great.
Oh,
Thanks, bud.
brother, this guy stinks!
Really wanted to kill these people, but, you know, okay. Put me in your pocket. You know. I'm aware that there's a dash mechanic that's supposed to help with other players who experience that. The effect for his ability, you can actually customize all the colors of your energy and your abilities. Like, that's a thing you can do here. Unfortunately, most people don't change it from the default of, like, sepia yellow, which kind of gets washed out and it sort of blends with the entire, you know, surrounding area. Like, if you cast his rift ability and you put everyone into like a neon green, you know, or a blood red kind of realm, then people would know what's up. Especially, you know, those are very colorblind friendly. It doesn't work, at least not well. Whenever I see a limbo in the squad with me, it just kind of, okay, let's get this over with. Yeah, the freaking magician coated Warframe. Why with the top hat? That's just weird. It's kind of like, you know, the TikTok meme of the guy who wears the fedora and kicks his leg, and he like lays down on his bed. He's kicking his legs. So I'm like, well, don't worry, princess. Don't worry, daddy's coming for you, princess. That guy. Don't be that guy. Okay, best kits. If I were to settle on one in particular, I have to pick Sevagoth. Sevagoth and his shadow. Like, bro's got a stand. He's a freaking JoJo character. Guy's got Riz. Make no mistake about that. But his kit, you know, he sends his shadow out to sow seeds of destruction. Are you seeing a pattern here? And his shadow, it can deal radiation damage. It deals higher critical chance. You know, whenever I'm in a mission, and I'm not Sevagoth, but I'm like all of a sudden, just like out of the blue, popping orange and red crit numbers, I am like almost positive that there is a Sevagoth in there with us. And hey, salute you, Sevagoth mains. You're doing good. You're doing the Lotus's work. Truly. I mean, not to mention, like Noko and like Nidus also have a non bleed out mechanic where if they fall in battle, they have a chance to just send their shadow out, absolutely wail on some enemies, and get enough energy or soul juice to bring Sevagoth back to life. So, best kit, there he is. In my opinion. Most fun frame. Gotta give it to my girl, Foley. My curvaceous, goopy lady. I'll get weird with you. And that, I'm not saying that in like a spicy kind of get weird. She's artsy. She's got a sketchbook. She has freaking developer meta powers. You need an RPG? Boom! There it is. Oh, have fun. You want a damage or affinity buff? Pop. There you go. Coke Surge. Need a spinning ball of death? Boom. Death Orb. And that's just her second ability. She has great crowd control with the self-portrait ability. She can portal with the forced perspective first ability, which in my opinion works as a better mode of transiting across long distances, better than Nova and her portals, in my opinion. It all works, very line of sight. You just aim and cast and go. I've got an Archon Shard thrown on her with just, some extra speed to that casting. And her 4 is, oh, is it someone's birthday? How about a balloon? You get a balloon, and 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 you get covered in goop, and you fly into the air, and we shoot you like people piñatas. Ha 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 ha. I love her so much. She's just awesome. She is so fun to play. I cannot stop playing Foley to the point where I probably would have put her in the, best caster or main or second frame slots. She could have fit in any of those. But, that's only because she's so freaking fun. Best design. This is purely objective. I like this character for their design aesthetic, and that's going to be Caliban for me. Like, what? A Warframe that is part sentient? More robot than warbot? When they brought out Caliban Prime, like, oh my god. Holy freaking gold. Just gold everywhere. So much gold drip coming off of him. He was there in the story before the old piece came around and introduced the Prime variant and put forth the idea that at one time the Tenno factions and the sentients could work together and they could coexist. He plays pretty well. To me, he's like a gilded work of robotic art. Best fashion. That is going to be a different story. I don't have a lot of alt skins, but if I were to pick a frame that could be fashionable in just whatever, free cosmetics that Warframe will give you, and there's a lot of free cosmetics. Yorelli. Don't stop, girly pop. She is so cute. Her aesthetic is adorable. It's so sweet. It's kawaii, but also lethal at the same time. And Yorelli Prime, she was the first Prime Warframe that I got to see revealed live at PAX East 2025. And you can put all kinds of options with her. Like, sure, you could, keep the bubblegum pink kind of aesthetic, or change it up, like, but put some like black and maybe some glowing blue or green colors in there, sort of give her like an axolotl but eel kind of look. Like, she's a close second in design next to Caliban. Now finally, we get to the last spot. That is favorite proto frame. So far, we have 6 X frames, 4 round table frames, 3 Devil's Triad frames, there are 13 proto frames that you can choose from. I have a few. They don't have actual pictures of proto frames here, but the Proto Frost is my personal favorite, which is Velimir. Hails from the Warframe equivalent of the United States of America. He's very dad-coded, mid to late 90s dad-coded, never cut their mullet, who complains, is gruff, gets mad. He's kind of like a cross between an old Gen Xer and a polar bear, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I especially love it like whenever I'm running missions as Frost and Velimir's running around, he's giving his little quips like, "Hey, we got some volunteers for fertilizer detail," or "You are dangerously close to pissing me off," or "Oh yeah, violence!" My favorite quip of his is, "Can you kids keep it down?" Just a cranky old man reaction. Never change. Okay? Never change. Just keep being you. All right? I love you for it. And so, there it is. There it is. First to best to worst and everything in between. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into, you know, my psyche. Here's in. It comes with a silver potato.
Updated with new invasions.
Space Mom!
Chaos is spreading.
Calm down. I am trying to do a video. God. Really? Nerve. Anywho. Oh, don't worry, Princess.